Pam. Welcome back to my channel. Work on the interior of my 1934 cottage has been a bit slow, but I do have an update. I have completed working on the hallway space, and I would love to share it with you. First, let's take a look at the before, and this comes from my very first video of my home. I'll put the link in the description below. Now, let's take a look at the refurbished space. Well, my philosophy is to start small, and start small I did. I began in the hallway by painting the walls and the doors and the trim. On the closet and the linen closet, as well as the doors and the trim, I used Swiss Coffee by Valspar, and the walls are antique white. Part of the reason I decided to start small was because, one, I didn't have to move any furniture, and two, it gave me a better idea as to how the color scheme was going to work, because I do plan on using the same paint colors in the living room and the dining room. So I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. On the ceiling is the light that I purchased off of Etsy from a vendor called the Antique Lights. I'll turn it off so you can see what it looks like off as well. And there it is on. The ceiling, as you see, has some textured paint. I just wasn't up for dealing with that. I'll be dealing with that at a later date. On this wall, the peacock is something that I cross-stitched back in the 90s. I framed it myself. One of these days, maybe I'll get around to having it professionally framed. The antique print on the bottom I purchased at Gray Barn Antiques in Andover, New Jersey a few years back. And the picture above it is a framed and signed print of a scene of Main Street in Newtown, Connecticut. It was a gift from my stepfather a number of years ago. The mirror I purchased at Junkie in Reno not too long ago. And this vintage print is also a purchase that I made at Gray Barn Antiques in New Jersey. And here on my little table, the crystal ball came from Junkie. The candle lantern is just something I picked up at Michael's, and the dish was from an estate sale. The table itself is something I picked up at a tag sale for $3. I am going to be redoing the top at some point. I would like to do a faux marbleization of that, so I'll be sure to share that when I do it. These adorable pictures that are scenes from, let's see, Glasgow. Excuse me. The top one is from Glasgow, and the bottom one is in Whitby, and both of those were purchased in Delaware at an antique store in Delaware. I will have to look up the name, and I will pop that into the video at a later date because I don't recall it at the moment. And then these I purchased at a tag sale in Reno. I did buy the runners at TJ Maxx, and I think they look pretty nice. They're soft, and the off-white picks up the off-white on the walls. So there's the very first transformation in my 1934 cottage. I don't know if you noticed, but on the pictures where I have two, one hanging right above the other, you see a ribbon. And the reason I use the ribbons is because these are plaster walls. And I'm trying to make as few holes in the walls as possible. I'm patching the existing holes as I go along. And so what I'm doing is I'm hanging one picture and right below it using a ribbon to use the same hook to hang the second picture, if that makes sense. Now that I have a really good idea as to how the paint job will look in the rest of the public spaces, I am ready to tackle my living room. So that is going to be my next interior project. So stay tuned for more updates on that. Thanks for joining me. If you like my content, please be sure to like this video, share. If you have any comments, please feel free to put those down as well. And I will see you on the next video.